Good day, everybody. Welcome once again to Le'Rez Studio, which has been so busy lately. Woohoo! I just love my new setup, and I've got everything sort of exactly where I want it, and very organized. So it's good. It's good stuff, you know. It's good to be organized, not overly organized, because you don't want to be OCD. Not that there's anything wrong with that, but I'm just saying sometimes you can go overboard, but it's good to know where everything goes. Oh, hi, Millie. My dog just decided to walk past me and make a little sound. So, okay, what are we doing here? I've got some alcohol inks, and I've been searching for a good alcohol ink for a while now, and I think this one is a winner. Some of the colors are really awesome, and some of them are just too transparent, and you can't use too much in resin, otherwise your resin won't set. So I'm still searching, because I want to introduce some alcohol inks to my range, and I'm really excited about that, and it's great experimenting. And what I'm doing here, I'm just adding a couple of drops at the time and seeing the difference with the shades. So this is just a blue. It's supposed to be like an ocean blue, but it's quite a transparent one. So that's just a little insight on what I'm doing, and I like to utilize my time and show you guys what I'm doing. So I'm still creating art and doing a bit of testing at the same time. Why not? So there you can see a few blobs of different colors, and same kind of thing, just seeing different you know, shades that I can get from transparent to a little bit opaque. They're never too opaque, but see that a really beautiful wineish kind of red looks awesome there. That looks quite opaque because it's puddled in one spot, so it looks opaque. When if I was to move that around, it would be transparent. So there's different things you can do to make your paints, your pigments, more opaque. If that's what you want, you just have to put a thicker layer over it. So there's a few different colors going down now, quite pretty colors, very nice, and I found that they work pretty good with resin, which is excellent. But there's still a few more tests to do, and I do the practical tests. I don't do the lab kind of chemical test, because I'm not a chemist, but I do observe the reaction. I apply a lot of heat onto the pieces, onto the pigments rather, to see how they react, and to see, you know, I'm being very, very careful and very safe, because you never know, some of them, especially alcohol inks, they can ignite very easily. So it's important to know that I can have a product which I'm sure that it's safe to use for my customers, you know, my friends. So I'm making sure to take every precaution when I do these things. So there you go. Just now I am just layering these colors one on top of the other, just to see how they work with each other, you know, the transparent ones against the opaque ones, and vice versa, just you know, just to see how they react and what effects they make together. There goes that blue. Now I'm starting to create something. So pretty much what I'm doing is I'm placing colors one next to the other. I'm trying to place the opposite densities against each other, but at this stage, you know, I'm not really sure. So that beautiful yellow against that orange, and try not to muddy up the colors. So and later on you will see me do multiple swipes over and across just to see if they will muddy up, and they actually performed quite well. Putting some yellow over above the blue. I like that combination because you get that really nice green, which you can see a little blob there between the blue and the yellow. A magenta kind of color coming down, and just going like that over those other ones that I've already got on there. They all kind of merge together and create their own little story. And we all know I love stories, especially when it comes to art. I am an art therapist, and it's all about what we can get out of our creation afterwards. You know, you have a good look at it and ask yourself, what is this painting trying to tell me? Because you created this painting and it came from your subconscious mind. So your movements, your hands, your fingers, the pouring, the way you're tilting, you know, it all has a meaning. And a lot of you know that if you are in a bad mood and have a really bad day, your art looks different. Okay, so there's a reason for that. So just observe what you do. Be mindful of that. A bit of white coming in. That's really nice white. I liked it. I really liked it. Nowhere. Not even close to the angel white. That's a really nice silver coming in now, metallic. It's always nice to mix some metallic with amongst your matte colors, just to break it up a little bit and give it a bit of a sheen. It's always nice. So, and now a little bit of gold, really nice gold, nice silver as well, metallics, on a bit of a transparent side at this stage, and you can see that when I'm pouring it over that matte color, how it separates and how it sort of goes straight through. So I'm just swiping across now, and that silver mixed in with those other colors just just does something, that's for sure. The bottom of it, not too keen on it. I like the top part because I've got those metallics. So just swiping upwards now, pulling those colors, and I'm just using it's just a really thick paper, and I like using, you know, utilizing everything that I've got on hand. Even, you know, the tags when you buy clothes, they're really great because they're kind of a thin cardboard or really thick layered paper. So it's not too flexible, but it's not too stiff either, if you know what I mean. So what I did was I applied a little bit of pressure, pulling those pigments up and down, because the resin started to stiffen a little bit, and that is because it was a warm day, and at that stage I didn't have an air conditioner in my studio, so the resin was getting pretty stiff very quickly for me. So just putting tiny little puddles here and there just to see how that works, and I really like that effect, how it spreads open. It's really pretty right there. Pulls all those colors from underneath and does something to them. Just lovely. Okay, so you can see some cells developing quite rapidly with that silver. Really lovely. And I'm sorry if some people are annoyed with my talking, the process. This is really good for me too, because I can always go back to it and have a listen and see, you know, listen as well as see what I'm doing and what's going on. So just applying a little bit of heat, pushing that pigment up and down and seeing how it all works together, and so far so good, guys. A little bit of tiltage. Another thing that I'm looking at, seeing if those colors will pull over each other or mix together and create mud, which is not what we want. And now doing some more swiping, going down, and I'm pretty sure I'll be going up. Yep, that's it, just going up again. So this is a second lot of swiping, and the colors are still pretty vibrant, which is good. Heat it up a little bit. Just be careful now I don't burn it. Ooh, that's hot. That was hot. Look how nice that is, though. Yeah. Check that out. That's alright. Look what it did. I think I might just do that. Look at that.
I like this part.
That is so cool. I might just do that. Just drop something in there.
Yeah, look. Is that what it made?
This here.
Oh, there. Huh. Yeah,
That is so cool.
You do some more.
Let's see if I can just do that. Like a swirly thing.
Use the other one.
See if I can find some. Oh, I hope you enjoyed that little fun part where I actually dropped the extension for my heat gun. Oh, that was so hot. I didn't burn myself. I'm okay. I just, you know, pretty, I got good reflexes still. So I dropped it in there. So, because it was a little bit wobbly, and I, not even thinking, I tried to adjust it, push it in a little bit more, and then the damn thing just kind of burned me a little bit, not too much. And then, yeah, it was fun. But that other male voice you could hear was my brother. He was just hanging about, fixing things in the studio and outside the studio. So he got to witness that. It was fun. But it did create a really nice effect. So I'm going again with the swiping. And this is like the third time now, or fourth time. And I can really see some things coming up now. On the left, kind of bottom to middle, you can see some feather looking things. Really pretty, really pretty. So it's always fun when things like that happen, and then you just keep pushing it. A little bit of heat now, just to soften the resin, because it's quite thick at this stage. And I actually enjoy working with resin when it starts to set a little bit. I don't know why. I think I've got more control in doing things, and then just apply the heat gun or another heat source just to loosen it up a little bit and keep going back and forth like that. A little bit more tilting, and then some more heat. And you can see some shapes happening now, which is going to give me a really nice base to create an acrylic painting over the top of it. And now just seeing the shapes that I've got, and trying to imagine something else in there. So I'm pulling my famous lines And this one looks a little bit like a shape of a woman. So yeah, I'm just going with that. Pretty, you know, I'm not thinking about what I'm going to put in there. I'm just going with what's already there, and then I can see, that looks like a shape of a person. That looks like a tree. That looks like this or that. You know, that's how I do it. Sometimes I look at a background and I'm thinking, I can't really, there's so many things in there, so many different things, and how do I create something out of that? Because everything kind of contradicts each other, and then I'm thinking, why not, you know, do something really abstract and really representational, and discover what's going on in my mind at that time, you know, at the time of creating that, because that is what it's all about. I keep saying that, and some of you may think that I'm a little bit cuckoo, but it's actually true. I actually studied that. I didn't study art, but I did study art therapy, so I know a little bit about that, and psychology, and how the mind works, and how it transforms and projects itself onto things. And it's wonderful to do it with art. A lot of people take a different path, but if you utilize things like that and create art, whether it's music or drama or poetry or whatever, or painting, just do it, because it's unbelievable. I can see some really nice shapes coming up, and getting really excited at this stage about what is the next step that I'm going to do. So there's going to be 2 parts to this video, because I'm trying not to make the video too long for you guys. So the next stage is going to be applying things and doing something with these shapes. So here we go. I've already started with the Posca pen here. I was going to do another video, which I will, because it still isn't finished, but at this stage I didn't have a photograph of the finished project at the time, as I already started adding things to it. So this is continuing now. So I'm seeing that's the shape of a lady. You can see her head is kind of bowed down a little bit. So I am just fixing the head with just a gold Posca pen, and that's only to do an outline, you know. So afterwards I will add something, you know, some pigment or something to it. And behind there, my hand's on it right now, but now you can see it. Looks like a bit of a butterfly wing, so I will turn that into the lady's wing. And now above her there's some sort of a creature looking thing. It just it has an eye and it has a beak, so I'm going to make that into some kind of god or a goddess, and the lady is bowing her head. I'm creating a story here. The painting is actually creating a story. It's telling me a story, and it can go 1,000 million different ways. You know, you can turn it into a bushfire, or you can turn this into some sort of a I don't know, let me think, you know, a wild field with flowers and butterflies and things like that. You can go so many ways, but this is just the way I was led to do it, and just some things that I'm going through in my life, I think, and it's all projecting through this painting, which is kind of great. You know, it's really marvelous that you can do that. So I'm doing a little shape here, just using the acrylic paintbrush, just a bit of black going through there, and you will see that I will add things and then wipe them off. It's really lovely painting over resin, because it's so easy to wipe off, and also because I'm such a visual person, I need to see it on there. It's like when I moved my house, and I had to move the furniture around so many times, and same thing in the studio, because I had to see what it looked like. I couldn't imagine it. I could imagine it, but I couldn't see it clearly. So I had to actually physically move the furniture around, look at it, and then move it again. It's a big job. But that's just the way my mind works, and I'm prepared to do it. This part here looks like a face to me, and I'm just drawing an eye. At that stage there was just one eye there, and it looked like it belonged there, so just fixing up the shape. That looks a bit of like a bit of a fringe coming off the side there. You know, just going along with it and seeing what it's telling me. Just working on that eye a little bit. It's a very simple, just outlines of things. I can see another little person or another little creature in there. So yeah, what I'm doing here is I've just got a little dirty pour happening with a few different colors, acrylics, and just coloring in, just pouring over that bit there. It looks a little bit like a funnel to me, and then I'm going to tilt it and let it fall freely down over the face. To be honest, I really don't know why I did that, but I like it, and it was just one of those things that you just go with it. You don't think about it, and it's the best way to create art is if you don't think about it too much. And I just showed you how pretty it looks, you know, whatever was left in the cup there. A bit of gold was left at the bottom, so I'm just putting that over the top and then tilting again to make that gold slide down. So there on the top left corner I did another little pour, just like a dirty pour just there. And what am I doing here? That's right, I'm putting a little bit of blue and just colouring in the head and making that like the hair of the lady. And then I changed my mind, so I wiped it off. Like I said, real easy to wipe off. And we're nearing to the end of this video now, so I will leave it at this. I will take some photos and then attach it to the end of this video, and just stay tuned for part 2. I think it's going to be something really, really cool and interesting. And thank you all for watching. See you next time.